Hello everybody, welcome back to the cabin, welcome back to Commonwealth Flipper, and I am feeling way better than I was yesterday, thank goodness, and I don't have a ton to ship out today. I think there's like 19, 20 items we're shipping out of here, but 3 or 4 of them from the same exact sale, so not a massive day, but we did ship yesterday. And so when that happens, we're usually down a little bit, but we have been down a little bit overall, and that's part of what I want to talk about today. I am, for those of you wondering, going to open that package. It'll be outside, and I don't know why anybody wants to see it, but from the last few videos, these people keep sending stuff, and it's disgusting. But we'll talk a little bit about that, a little bit about some of the good things that are going on, and a little bit about some of the hesitancy a lot of people have moving forward in reselling. I actually had this video planned out for a while and wanted to talk a little bit about the good, a little bit about the bad, and some of the hesitancy. Came in here today, I turned on YouTube like I almost always do when I start to work and do different things around here before I start filming. And Pete, Craigslist Hunter, you hear me talk about him often. He has been doing this, been in this game a long time. And he had a video out that is almost identical to what I was going to do today. And I'm going to kind of piggyback on it because 3 of the points he made in this video are points that I was going to make today. So Pete, I'm not stealing from you, I promise. You made some good points, and I was thinking along some of those same lines. And I think he does have some good points, and I'm going to bring up those and some other points as well for those of you thinking about getting into this game, those of you who are firmly entrenched in this game, and for those people who've been in it a long time as well. But some cool sales, some that I really like. Let's go take a look. And you know I love selling cassette tapes, and a lot of cassette tapes just simply aren't worth much at all, if anything, unless you put them in huge lots. But some of them can be worth good money, like all of these are certainly worth listing on their own. And these 2 are interesting. These don't even have cover art to them. But I knew they'd still be worth listing. It was that one giant buyout we did at that gentleman's garage sale that led to a house that he was cleaning out, which was an awesome little connection we made at that sale. Smashing Pumpkins, Adore, and I don't know what that one's called. I can't even read it. But these 2 right here without the cover art still sold, and they sold for $17. No, they didn't. They sold for $15 plus shipping. Here is a viewer sale, and before I start talking about this today, I want to head off the haters at the pass, although I'm sure it'll happen anyways. This shirt right here, size large, not single stitch, and it's made in Mexico. It's still a pretty cool shirt. It's got that nice fade to it for a vintage shirt. Sold for $24.95 plus shipping. And I'm going to read the comment from the viewer in just a second, but I want to preface what I'm going to say the rest of this time by saying that I try to be extremely transparent, and I always say, hey, this is a viewer sale, this is a viewer sale, because my experience is different than yours. Yours is different than mine. And a lot of folks out there I talk to all the time. So this isn't just anecdotal stuff based on what's happening with me. And I have heard people lately say January is the absolute best month they ever had. I'm like, okay. Because I've heard people literally say there's been like 3 days without a sale. And these are people who've been selling for a long time. So there are certainly some downtimes for some folks. And I think there are some big trends, and Pete touched on them a little bit in his video, and that's why I like to watch his stuff from time to time, because he's got a shop, and he's got people on both ends, people that need to sell things to make ends meet, and people that are buying things, and he sees the effect on both sides of the story. Well, let me read this first, and we'll get into it, pull a few more items, and keep talking about this. I'd love to get your feedback as well. Hey, Kevin, I'm also a Kevin. Okay, well, thank you, Kevin. I'm buying this shirt to show my support and to help you. I really want one of your t-shirts, the Commonwealth Picker t-shirt. I see them behind you on the shelf, but I couldn't figure out how to find one. He says he's selling a little bit now, but I hope to get more to sell. I watch all your videos, and thank you. It's Keena _72 on eBay. Thanks, and keep up the good work. So, Keena, those are actually over on CommonwealthPicker.com. My daughter sells those and runs that for me with Bubba's girlfriend as well. And of course, I do a little bit of the ordering, but that's where you can find those, CommonwealthPicker.com. And while I've said before that I am bullish on the future of reselling, and I am, and I'm not even not bullish necessarily on this year, it's just I think people need to be aware of certain things that are going on. And I've talked about them before, whether they be the contraction essentially of the money supply with the slightly less available cash flow from people just because of interest rates. I gotta find the right boot here. And it's funny that it's kind of showing up in my sales here, and high dollar items aren't flying like they used to. It's a lot of the lower dollar stuff right now, so people's price points and what they can afford for stuff is a little bit lower. Ariat boots, not in perfect condition, but I paid $5 for these, and they still sold on a send offer, and a higher percentage of my sales are going out on send offer, $47.45, which means these were $49.99. So somebody got a little bit of a discount. Plus shipping, of course, and I think that's part of it as well. So here's why I like reselling. That even in tough times economically, which this is by no means the toughest times economically we've had, in a long time, of course. This isn't like it's the Great Depression or anything, but there is a constriction of that free money out there. There's no doubt about that, and people are feeling that pinch. And inflationary prices were so high, it's taking a long time to kind of steady them. And so you're dealing with both ends of this issue. There's not as much money just flowing around out there as there used to be. But there's a couple of silver linings here. One is the fact that people still need things and people still want things, and they search out deals. And sometimes that means not buying the new thing. It means buying the used thing. And so there's a lot of items that are still going to sell and still going to do really, really well. It's just you got to be careful about what you're picking up and what you're paying for stuff. Here's a decent example of that. Some off woods, off deep woods right here. Something that people, well, I suppose they need it. But if you're going to buy it, do you want to buy it full price somewhere? Do you want to get a discount? And in this case, they got a discount from me. Way cheaper than retail, $34.15. I saw this stuff in a bin. I was down in Florida along with a ton of other stuff. I'm like, that's perfect right now, and I'll pick it up, and it was really cheap. We're already in the profit off that bin, and we just started selling. By the way, there's another good reason to be extremely diversified and be an everything seller. We've talked in the past about things being easier for people who are niched down and sometimes better economically for you because you can focus on one thing. But in certain downturns, some items are going to be a little harder to sell than others. And if you're niched down, it makes it a little bit more difficult. Plus, I just love doing everything anyways and selling just about everything I find. So there's one benefit to being an everything seller for sure. But even everything sellers should be very aware of kind of the economic circumstances around us. Here's another example of something. Now, it's not necessarily a necessity, but this is the kind of thing people are still going to buy, even in downturns in economies, which I don't even know if we're in, but it certainly is certain that there's less money out there. By the way, that is done on purpose for multiple reasons. And, this is an election year as well, after all. I got to find the right amount of these. These are something that we've sold lately. We used to sell them a little bit, and then they stopped. I think there's a total of 6 of these. Wax melts, and you don't see me come back here often, but I've come back here twice lately. It's not like this is a necessity or anything, but if you're going to buy these, you might as well not pay retail as well. So I think there's 6 of these. I got to get it right. Yeah, 1, 2, there's 2. I sell them by the 3s. Somebody bought 2 sets of 3. $54. These are free shipping. Now, this is an election year, and that was one thing that was on my list that I heard Pete mention. He's been through many of these cycles before, and reselling, it's not like it's going to change everything, but a lot of times in election years, there's a little bit more caution out there from big corporations to smaller companies to the little guy, and I think you're seeing a little bit of that as well. Some of that non-necessity stuff, they're still selling, but it's the lower dollar stuff, for me at least anyways. Maybe it is for other folks. That's why I don't like to completely get out of the business of selling cheaper items, especially if they're multi-quantity like these are. So I'm definitely all in on this kind of stuff. I actually made a buy down in Florida. You'll see it soon. That was something along these lines of the kind of thing I want to start picking up a little bit more over the coming months. This is a Marvin the Martian keychain, $10.95. This one was also free shipping, which we don't do very often, but we do it on small stuff like that sometimes. And looking at the comments on here, even today, looks like 1 out of every 3 sales is to a viewer. That'll give you an idea. That number does not always creep over 20%, but it certainly did today. Look at that. Should have just grabbed it. This floral Damn It doll right here. I like that one. And this one sold for $12.95 plus shipping. And it went to Angela. Says, I watch all of your picker and flipper videos and continue to see these dolls. I had to order one for my friend so we can get so she can get her football frustrations out. Sorry about the scammer situation. It's very concerning. There's no way to know what they're sending back and if they'll escalate to something harmful. We'll see. Thanks for the content, Angie. I appreciate it very much, and I hope you enjoy that doll. I like the colors on that one. I'm not done talking about the topic because I want to talk a little bit more about what I had on my list and what I saw on Pete's video as well, because I think it's pretty good insight from somebody who's been doing this for a long time. And I've been doing it for a long time, but I'm only doing it in certain ways that are very different than him, and I don't have my finger on the pulse of the people at large as they come into these stores and they're looking for money immediately for stuff as well. And I think that's a big part of it. But I wanted to touch on that for just a second. I'll just say that we are doing everything we can to solve this issue. We're doing a lot of things that I'm not talking about on here for specific reasons, because I don't want to talk about all of this stuff because some of it doesn't need to be done on here. But I can just tell you this. I'm feeling a little bit better about it today than I did yesterday, and I felt better about it yesterday than I did the day before, despite the fact that thing's still sitting out there on my porch. So I don't know when it'll get solved, but I'm getting pretty confident that it will be solved, and we'll know it in the future if we continue to see these things. Matter of fact, I suspect we're going to continue to see a few more, and it's because this stuff is delayed a little bit. Some of the stuff's already been shipped, and some of the stuff's already been done. It's going to be another couple of weeks before we kind of figure out if anything's really been done about it. But I am feeling fairly confident that some of this stuff's being figured out a little bit. Names, people, places. And I sold another, if I can see if I can find it here. It is another Smashing Pumpkins right there. Siamese Dream. And that one, these are not sealed, by the way. If these were sealed, like if this was a sealed cassette, it might be a $100 bill. But it's not, and it's still sold for good money. Sold for $24.95 plus shipping. If you watch my show long enough, you know I'm a pretty positive person going forward. I'm always looking at the bright side of things, and some people like that, some people don't like that, but that's just who I am, and I'll continue to do that, and I'll continue to find ways to make things work. Most of you who watch the show already do that, but there are some folks out there that just, you know, they just want to fold their cards over and be done, right? But one thing that Pete said that I also had on my list, and I was just kind of checking off those things that I heard him say that I also thought of, was this has traditionally been a time when there's a little constriction of the money supply and there's a little tightness with folks out there trying to make ends meet, that you begin to see other buying opportunities show up. And you have to be careful because you can't outspend your own needs, right? You can't just go out there and invest money you don't have. You got to make ends meet. But if you do have a little bit of cash, if you got a little bit of capital out there, this is a great buying opportunity in bulk from people. He mentions buying out collections and stuff like that. I think more along the lines of garage sales, because that's what we used to do. When we needed money quick, even stuff that we could sell on eBay, sometimes you just got to have a garage sale. You got to get that quick cash in to make the difference for that week or for that month. And so I think a lot of times what happens is you start to see those garage sales pop a little bit. There's more of them out there. People are much more willing to get rid of stuff quickly because they got to get some cash. And I think that could be a benefit, but also, like he said, opportunities for different buyouts and stuff like that, depending on how you source out there. It might be a good time if you've done what you should do for months and months and years and always put a little bit aside of extra money so that you can capture those opportunities when they come. And I know everybody can't do that. I certainly wasn't in a position to do it years ago. I'm in more of a position to do it now. This Fisher-Price camera, picture story camera, it's actually probably been sitting up there for a while. This one sold, and it's not a high dollar one, $13.60, I believe is what it sold for. And I thought it was a viewer, but I don't see a comment on there. So maybe it's not a viewer, but I had it in my head. So maybe you sent me a message. So I'm going to say thank you to Lisa anyways, if you sent me a message in the messaging system. So thank you if you are a viewer. If not, thank you anyways. But that's a cool one, and I'll have to find something else to put back up there. I think these Damn It dolls were absolutely perfect timing for buying them. Before Christmas, stocking stuffers, all that. They're still flying off the shelves. They're not high priced. They're actually under our $15 hopes, you know, on eBay, but they're $12.95 plus shipping, and we had so many it was worth it. Since we're into them for less than $1, they have done really well for us. That one, there's another black and white one right there, and that one's sold. It's the same person, no message, but you never know. These are headed out of here for, I guess, what's that, $12.95 times 2 with a discount, I guess. Send off for $23.31 plus shipping. Not quite done talking about that topic, but I guess this is a good time to talk about some of the good things I've seen coming across that I have hopes for eBay, other platforms, especially eBay. But let me read this first. I'm going to read this in advance, and then I'm going to pull all the items. This is from a viewer. Hello, Kevin. We love to watch your YouTube channels. You do a tremendous job making your videos entertaining. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you. Can you please combine shipping on these items? Absolutely. And can we have a Commonwealth picker sticker from you? Thank you, Joe and Billy Joe. So normally I'd say the Commonwealth picker stickers are over on CommonwealthPicker.com, unless you mean the little ones. We give the little ones out to everybody along with a card and all that stuff. But you bought a bunch, so I'm going to give you one of these regardless, because I appreciate that. And we will combine shipping. If I forget, let me know. There's one thing I've started to see come across my things, and that's customers putting things in their cart and requesting the combined shipping, which is something I had not got much of in the past. I don't know if that's a new feature or what, but I never saw it like that before, at least the way it came across. There's some other things as well. They're adding the cubic shipping rates, which means you don't have to switch over to pirate ship like I used to do quite a bit. Looks like those rates are in there. Unless I'm missing something, it sure seems like that. I've talked about before, I love the international shipping and the way they're doing it. I hear they already have initiated for some places, I believe, the combined international shipping as well, which might encourage multiple buys overseas. There's a lot of good news happening, despite the fact that we still have some of these issues. I've even heard through the grapevine that a lot of these cuts over there, the combination of different parts of eBay, a lot of it is being done because some of the things that we've been complaining about, not we, but we have been complaining about, are actually, hopefully, we'll see, you never know when you hear this stuff, being combined into different areas with people who are doing what they're supposed to be doing for greater accountability, for seller protection as well. I don't know, I'm always hesitant when I hear that kind of stuff, but I have heard that from multiple sources at this point, and I hope that that's the case. I don't know that that's the case, but there are certain things that I think are extremely important that have been pushed back to the side that I think maybe even eBay has figured out, you know what, it's probably a good idea. And what I've talked about as well, which is the biggest danger to reselling, which is probably none of this stuff we're talking about right now. I'm going to talk about that on the next episode. To me, I don't even want to let the cat out of the bag. I'll put that on the next episode. The next one is a Bob Ross Chia Pet, and I thought it was up there. It might be inside. I'll just show you the picture, $14 plus shipping, because I know it's on display somewhere, and it might be inside where we used to film, but now I don't remember. Oh, I know what I'm looking for. This one was $16.99 plus shipping. I think it's the last of the gnomes that my wife bought from Goodwill against my will. But it turns out she was right. They eventually all did sell. And this one is $16.99, I believe, plus shipping. Reagan came in here early today and brought this little scoundrel with her. You look beautiful today. She had her hair done. And she's got some people think out of the CommonwealthPicker.com store.
The trees.
Oh my gosh. Get out of there. All right, go ahead. We'll kick him out in a minute. What do you got?
Pamela got a blue CWP shirt and an Enema Man. Ivan got 2 giant stickers. Brenda got an IKEA bag, a gray CWP shirt, and a blue Enema Man. And Jeff got a giant.
Awesome. So people are snatching up those blue ones before they're all gone. And we have put out the new one. It should be over there at this point right there.
Oh, we have?
Yep, we put it out. Figured somebody wanted it before Valentine's Day. We better get it out.
Yeah.
Some people have already ordered it. We'll give you your thank yous later. So we are obviously almost out of these, and these are almost gone as well at this point. And so we decided, we meaning Reagan, that we would combine the two into one.
Yep.
So that is the new one, and it's over there on CommonwealthPicker.com. And Ivan, big thank you to Ivan. You all also always hear us thank him for the ET pins. Ivan's been a friend for a long time. So Ivan, we appreciate you very much.
Bye, and don't forget to get your sticker at commonwealthpicker.com.
Sold a PS2 Shrek lot. Not a ton of money in here, but still a little bit. $12 for those two combined, plus shipping. See what I mean? Some of the smaller dollar stuff still sells $15.95, I think, for this one. 15 bucks, $15.95 for that one. Little ratchet, German made, I believe. No, it's not. It's Craftsman. Yeah, actually it says made in West Germany, which surprises me a little bit. It's one of those push little spindle ones. Those are kind of cool. So $15.95 plus shipping. And this one here was a holdover for when we made all those changes. I probably wouldn't have listed again, but I'm glad I did. $4.99 plus shipping. We are selling a ton of video game stuff over on Divot on February 8th, just FYI. So that one sold. Look at that eclectic mix right there. That'll tell you what's going on. So tell me what you think out there. What is this year going to look like? What are your concerns? And, you know, I don't want to tell you what to put down there. I mean, don't go off on anybody and everybody and spill all of your grievances out there. But just an honest opinion of what you think, what you expect going forward this year, both sourcing and selling. And let me know what you think. I'm really curious because, like I said, I'm kind of in a bubble right here. I have different experiences than different people. I live in different areas than you guys do, and I think it's different for everybody. But I think some of these things are similar, certainly the macro issues. So I want to know your opinion down below, what you think is going on now and what you think is going to be going on the rest of this year, and what you think of the long-term health of reselling. Thank goodness for these Dammit dolls lately. It seems like they're like 20% of my sales by themselves. Where would I be without them? I probably need to be using one. Maybe that's why people are buying them. All right, this is a funky one. Unrequited Marriage, maybe? Is that this one? I can't... No, that doesn't even look like that one. Now I gotta find it. This one sold. And I don't know if I'll find the other one that quickly, but I'll keep digging for a minute. It looks something like this. There it is right there. Check that one out. How weird is that one? But hey, they sold $12.95 a piece plus shipping. And I believe this one went to a viewer as well. Most of the Dammit dolls do. It was hovering around 50% and then went up to 60% or so for all of the Dammit dolls that are headed out of here. They would have sold anyways, I promise, but it would have taken probably 2 more years. And that's all we have left, and we had a massive bin of these. They say, "Hi Kevin, we've been watchers of your channel for about 1.5 years now. About the same time, my wife decided to do reselling full time, and it has been very successful. We are continually inspired by you and your family. We couldn't pass up on your offer for the Dammit dolls. See, I'm sending out when anything gets close." That's another thing. I have it, normally I'll look in a day and they'll be like, yeah, you can send offers out on this many items. And that number has dwindled over the last couple of weeks for sure. And you know what? Not to be totally negative all the time, you know, tax return time is coming as well. And that has a little influx of money into the economy as well. So our eBay store is the Happy Cricket. I like that. Thanks for everything you do for the community. We can't wait to see where the journey takes you and yours. Thanks. Again, well, thank you. Is it Jarrail? I think I'm pronouncing that right, but I appreciate it either way, and I hope you enjoy those very unique Dammit dolls. Probably gonna get yelled at for selling this, but this one had an issue on it, as you can see down there. It would have sold for a lot more money, but it's still sold, and it sold for $49, and I think that, no, $49 even, plus shipping. Y'all, I'm gonna give Turner one more day off from jokes because he's still a little bit under the weather, but he's doing much better as well. So we'll get him in here next video. And I wanted to remind you that we are going to announce the winners for the, what did I give away? The My Reseller Genie 1 free month, and I'm going to announce both winners. Well, I might announce one the next show and then the one after that. They've also agreed to give us 1 month free for each of the 12 Whatnot shows we're going to do over the coming few months. And Joel, American Bubble Boy, has also agreed to do some giveaways on there as well, which is really nice. Thank y'all for using those codes. If you ever need those things, they're good people, really good people, actually. And I like them a bunch, and using code Commonwealth to get the discounts. If there's ever anything you need, you know, I talk about all these all the time, but CommonwealthPicker.com, scroll to affiliates, you'll see anything that you can get a discount on. The only thing we don't do well, I would, but Joel doesn't, is discounts on the bubble wrap itself, but he does do it on the tape and the other products and stuff like that. So anyway, thank you to them. We're also going to be doing a giveaway. I'm going to announce this show in advance, March 7th. Huge show with a bunch of people. We're going to be on the road. Go over there and bookmark that one. If you've never signed up, use that link below and you can get a free $15. We might even put some of this merch right at $15 so that if you're brand new, you can go over there and buy it for $15. All you gotta do is pay the shipping. We might do it that way. So we'll see, but it's gonna be a great show. And we just got an Apple Watch, brand new in the package, and we're going to give that away. That's compliments of whatnot. When they said, hey, we'll give you this stuff to give away if you'll do some shows, I said, well, shoot, if you're giving stuff away to my audience, absolutely, let's do it. So we appreciate them as well, and we're going to try to get some more giveaways, and plus we'll give away some of the stuff that we do as well. At any rate, enough of all that. Thank y'all. Don't forget to put your projections of this year down below. Those of you wondering, I did finally find the Bob Ross chip at. It was not where I thought it was. So there you go, all you skew Nazis out there. At any rate, that's a pretty cool one. So that's headed out. I think that was $14 plus shipping. Sold a Scorpions record. I haven't sold a record in a while. And it's not in terrible condition right there. Pretty decent little cover. $17 plus shipping on that one. And I have the record boxes. I thought I did. There they are right there. Record boxes are always helpful for sure, and I can't get it out, and the dog is looking for more treats. There it is. So if you sell records, well, everybody who sells records knows about these already. And I sold a vintage t-shirt, not at $15 plus shipping, but I just could not list this one. It came from the craziest vintage sale I've ever stumbled across in my life. If you've never seen that video, you should go check it out real quick. It was amazing. And that's a single stitcher, I believe it is anyways. No Bull Sales, Sexton Chevrolet Cadillac. It's even got a radio station ad in there. Super old tag right there, Health Knit. Love that one, $11 plus shipping. If it's a really expensive record, I'll put the cardboard cutouts above and below. If it's not, I'll put a piece of bubble below and a piece of bubble above it. But I always take it out of the sleeve, put it in a new sleeve if I have one, which I do, and so that if it moves during shipping, it doesn't split the sides of the sleeve or of the actual outside edges of it. So there you go. That's what I typically do. And most people, even in the record biz, are kind of okay with that. I'm not an expert in records by any stretch of the imagination, though. Always comes out to be a nifty little package right there, and I would suggest building in a little bit. Like if it's a 1 pound shipper, I'll put 2 pounds calculated on medium mail just to pay for some of the cost, because this stuff costs a little bit. I think I have links below. I'm pretty sure I have them over in my Amazon links. You can check those out if you're interested in them. All right, y'all, I have to put this earlier in the video. This is actually after I filmed, but had 2 more big sales come in, or at least big compared to the rest of them today. This is a Filson hat. This one sold for $64.95 plus shipping. This Canon bag, kind of vintage photography camera bag, $48 plus shipping for that one. And I forgot about this one. Don't know how I could forget about that one, but at any rate, that one is going out to Paul and Pamela. They said they had an emergency move a few months back, and they have to get their store moving again, so they grabbed one of those. So thank y'all very, very much. It's Bandit 0942 is the eBay handle right there. So we appreciate it. And look, see, stuff still sells. On today's episode of What Did the eBay Scammers Send Us That Is Rotting Now, I'm going to open this. I think I'm going to open it in here on the floor. I'll just put the plastic underneath it. It'll be fine. So here we go. I guess now that I'm in here, I should I don't come in here enough, do I? I need to show you. Look at the progress we're making here. on this stuff. That's even coming down a little bit. There's spaces there. So February, we're going to be selling the absolute heck out of stuff. This is where we've been making the most progress. We've got all this organized up there in the bins, and we've been bringing stuff down for auctions here. This one, I think this is like a week or so away for this one. We've got glass over there, but we've got those happening over there on Whatnot. Go check them out. Most Wednesdays, but some Thursdays and some other time as well. All right, I mean, it might need both hands. All right, I'm gonna open the back side. I put it in here, by the way, because it was rotting. And the post office put it in this envelope because it's got a, you can see it in the front. So the scammers send it in this package underneath. Post office put it in this using the same exact label that they did last time, which should not be able to be happening, but apparently it is. What rotting food is this? I should put my mask on first, huh? Hopefully the powers that be are watching this, y'all. Let's see. Ooh, look at that. You know what? I'm changing my mind. I'm going outside. All right. I gotta go wash my scissors. Okay. Looks like, my dad was right. They look like no-bake chocolate chip cookies, or chocolate cookies. That's what they are. I think. Yeah, I think that's what they are. They look like no-bake cookies. I could be wrong. Might be dog food. We appreciate you stopping by, and I can't wait to see you next time.
He likes those.
Now get him the heck out of here.